Right, if I could just call you to order. This reminds me of my days in the classroom. Whenever there's an opportunity to talk, people will take it. Now, we're going to go through these famous friendships, and I'm hoping that I can get the clicker to work correctly. Okay, in the first round, it's not purely for parents, but you'll recognize, hopefully, most of the people. So, we'll kick off. And at this stage, please turn off the live stream for this section. And of course, up there, you've got some very famous friends. And here we go. Question number 1. Who are these two people? Okay. You've had your 30 seconds. Okay. Couple number 2. Now, I had to do some research on this. Who are these two famous musicians? Surnames will do. But if you can get the first names, I shall be most impressed. I hasten to add, I was only alive for part of their lives. Right, number 3. Now, who are these two people? Who are these two people in pinstripe suits? I don't think that will give you a clue. I have to admit, I didn't know. These two people? Right. No, it's quite hard, isn't it? Okay, we'll move on to number 4. Now, who are these two handsome men? One from an older generation, and somebody who looks as if he's got a pain in the neck. Not his best photo, I would hasten to add. Okay, all had time for number 4? Here we go with number 5. Who are these two charismatic men? Two people you saw on television. Okay, has everybody had a chance to? Good. And number 6, the last one in this round. Who are these two younger, handsome men? Don't know exactly what they're looking at together, but the smile on the guy on the right-hand side should be a good clue. Okay, has everybody had a chance for that? Good, good, right. So, here we go. Here's the answers. It was Eric Morecambe and Ernie Wise. I can remember them from my childhood. Wonderful pair of comedians. Okay, number 2. Now, I had to do my research on this. It's Michael Flanders and Donald Swan. I was very interested to learn that Michael Flanders died and was buried in Betws y Coed. So for those of you who have a love of North Wales like me, Betws y Coed, look him up next time. I'm told he died in 1975, and was born in 1922. That's why I can't remember this couple. Okay, number 3. Who are these two people? Well, the answer is magical. Because it's Penn and Teller. Oh, I can see Carol nodding there, so she's obviously got that point. Well done, Carol, and your team. Number 4. Well, wouldn't we all love to have the looks of George Clooney and Brad Pitt? No? Well, Brad Pitt looks as if he's got a really stiff neck. I think he needs one of my massages. Right, number 5. This couple from television. And although it says Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson, it is the other way round. And Sherlock Holmes's pipe was most like the best clue. Number 6. Yes, these two young, handsome men seen on telly very often. Chandler and Joey from Friends. Yes? Okay. So now we go on to the round, mainly for young people. Well, we're all young at heart, aren't we? Okay, who are these two famous young people? Yes, I think the screaming is a bit of a clue. Okay, number 2. Well, children, I expect you've cuddled these many times. Who are these two famous children's characters? Okay, number 3. Well, I have to admit I did some research on this too as well. But I'm sure the children know. And my grandchildren told me the answer. Okay, you either know that or you don't. Right, number 4. Who are these two very highly attractive young ladies? It's a bit like the scorpion's tail, the sting in that question. Who are these two young ladies with such great figures and faces? Give you a little bit more time for that because I didn't know the answer. Okay, I take it. Number 5. Well, who are these two people? Does the uniform give it away? And by the way, we want the 2 people at the front, not the 2 at the back of this picture. I think I need to move on. Rick is looking at me about the timing. Right, number 6. Who are these two people? Who are these two people? I didn't know this. Have you all got an attempt? Right, here we go to the answers. Of course, this is Harry Potter with his best friend Ron Weasley. And number 2, this was Buzz Lightyear on the left and his best friend Woody on the right. Number 3, Lilo and Stitch. Have I got to pronounce the names right? No? Lilo? It's Lilo. Thank you so much. Never too young to be educated. Thank you. Lilo and Stitch. Number 4. Number 4. These two very attractive young ladies who've got no wrinkles at all. They are the Gilmore Girls. The Gilmore Girls. So Rory, which I always thought was a male name, a name for men, is on the left, and Paris Geller is on the right. And number 5, Wednesday, Adam and Enid. And I've learnt that Wednesday is the only person I've ever known who's got 2 names in her full name. She's called Wednesday Friday Adam. And actually, there's a typo here because it should have 2 Ds. From the Addams family. Yes, and the last one, number 6, I was absolutely got not a clue. This partnership is Peter Parker and Ned Leeds. Now, you've heard of Spider-Man, haven't you? Right. How did you get on? Right? So, written by Randy Newman, You've Got a Friend in Me, Toy Story characters. Right. How did you get on? Did anyone get all 12? Any group get all 12? Anybody get... Chris, you did?
Yeah, we missed one day. We got Wednesday, not Edith.
Well, that's all right. I think you did extremely well. Right. Well, we've got some chocolates here to celebrate. So, Chris's team gets some chocolates, celebrations. What about 10? Well done. 2 groups here, Margaret and her group, and Shirley. Well done. Sorry. Thank you, tech team. Right at the back, Colin and his family. A young person there, you see. And 9. Well done. I think that's a good score. That is 75%, or 3/4 as a common fraction. Can you tell I'm a tutor? Right. I think, Marion, can the 9s put their hands up again, quickly? Oh, Marion, can you keep your hands up while we go to the 8s? Blimey, you did very well. That's 66 or 67% to the nearest whole one. Good. Marion, have you still got some left? The 8s and the 9s? Come on, they're being a bit coy about this. Right, and 7. Right. Marion, Connor, well done. And here, we've got some more people here, Marion. And lastly, 6. Yes, well done. I don't think I would have got 50%. But I hope you enjoyed that. And I'll come round and collect the pencils and the paper. Thank you.
Right, no prizes for guessing which song we've chosen for God's playlist because you had a little preview. It will be very familiar to anybody born in the early 1990s or their parents or their grandparents. It was released in 1995 and is the theme song for the Disney Pixar film Toy Story. You've Got a Friend in Me. Written and performed by Randy Newman. It has featured in all 4 Toy Story films and is the anthem for the Pixar company. It was nominated for a Golden Globe and Academy Award in 1996 for the Best Original Song, and it's been covered many times. So, apologies to people listening on the live stream because we can't show this to you, but let's listen to Randy Newman singing it, which was first, this clip was first broadcast on something called the Prairie Home Companion, which is, I think, a radio show that goes out all across the USA nationally. So if we could listen to that, thank you.
So, he has lots of friends, maybe. I came across this quote that we should always have 3 friends in our lives. One who walks ahead, who we look up to and follow. One who walks beside us, who is with us every step of our journey. And one who we reach back for and bring along after we've cleared the way. The quote suggests a dynamic and supportive model for friendship, where friends supply different forms of friendship and companionship. We can take encouragement as Christians that we'd always have one guaranteed friend in having the Lord with us always. In Deuteronomy 31 verse 6, it says, "Be strong and courageous. Do not be afraid or terrified because of them, for the Lord your God goes with you, and he will never leave you nor forsake you." I believe that I have a number of friends or acquaintances, and the 3 true friends that I have are my wife Sue, the Lord, and Robbie. Robbie who, I hear you ask? Can we have the clip? Well, Robbie is 86 years old and has been my best friend for 40 years. He was best man 4 years ago when Sue and I got married, and now lives on his own after passing of his mother and father, who he looked after for many years on top of his catering manager's job for Barclays International in the city. So how do I know that Robbie is my best friend? Because whenever I've needed him, he has been there for me with words of encouragement and help. As an example, some years ago when I was going through a divorce and was homeless, I asked him if I could move into his spare room just for a short time. Without hesitation, he said, "Pack your bags and come along." I stayed for 4 months, and when I approached the subject of rent and paying some of the bills, he said, "We never need to discuss that subject again. I'm not your landlord, I'm your friend." He never pressurized me to talk about the situation, but in time he listened and encouraged me to move forward. Each week I telephone him, and sometimes we meet in person. But the one thing we do when we part, either on the telephone or if we're together, is we hug and we say, "Love you." A true friend.
Okay, good morning. It's me. And this is not the children's bit, this is for all of us, big children, small children, everybody. I'm quite a big fan of this guy. Found him in a charity shop about a week ago, isn't he cool? Those of you who haven't seen the film, he is from Toy Story 4, and his name is? Forky, and I have developed a real soft spot for this guy. Before I start talking about him properly, though, 2 things. 1, 1995 Toy Story. Yesterday, right? Wrong. 30 years ago. 30 years? No. The other thing, Toy Story 5 is on its way next year. I did not know this till the other day, and I'm very, very, very excited. And yes, I have watched all of the films this summer as part of my research. Yes, honestly. Okay, so Forky. If you don't know about Forky, he is famous from Toy Story 4. He was made by a little girl called Bonnie, who is the new kid. owner of all the toys. She makes him on her first day at kindergarten, and making him turns her from being super, super nervous to actually being able to speak and enjoy her first day at kindergarten. And she fell in love with Forky a little bit like I just watched Harry fall in love with his little spoon friend that he's made. There's some great friends over here. You have to go and look at the end. So he is her favourite toy from that point on. He doesn't realise that he's her favourite at all. Like, he's got no idea. And in actual fact, somebody, I can't remember which toy, but one of them refers to him as the utensil, which is a little bit mean. But he thinks, because he's been made of bits of stuff, rubbish, essentially, he keeps calling himself trash and keeps trying to throw himself in the bin. And all the toys spend ages and ages trying to rescue him from himself. And he goes, trash, and trying to throw himself in the bin. So that's kind of where Forky starts. He is totally imperfect. Don't listen. He is totally imperfect. His eyes don't match. His arms are different length. His fingers are different length. In fact, this one's a little bit too perfect. He is just practically imperfect in every single way. But he is also incredibly loved. So watching Toy Story, as I have for research purposes, I noticed that Forky experiences a massive range of emotions during the film. And kids, I know you're very, very busy making friends for Forky and other things, but I wonder if I could just borrow your legs and eyes for a second. If not, big kids, you're on this. There are all around this room, mostly under is your clue. There are some pictures of Forky. I think there's 12. I forgot to count properly. But I wonder if you find one, can you bring it to me or give it to a child and make them bring it to me? There are some in strange places. Thank you very, very much. I don't know how visible some of these will be, but I'm going to show you them as they arrive. Thank you very much. Thank you. Oh, my goodness, you've worked hard. I'm going to use that one in a second. Brilliant. This one. Scary face. I like it when his arms are involved. This one, I'm going to use that one in a second. This one, there's lots. Thank you very much. I'm going to use that one. Thank you, thank you. Wonderful. I'm going to show you 3 of my favourites, which I've just managed to steal away. And I want you to use your thumbs this time. If you think this is a comfortable emotion for Forky, I want you to show me a thumbs up. And if you think it's an uncomfortable emotion for Forky, I want you to show me a thumbs down. Are you ready? Comfortable or uncomfortable? Thumbs up or thumbs down? Yes, I think we're in agreement. That looks pretty uncomfortable as an emotion. Can anyone shout a word at me that might be that emotion? Skeptical. Is that what you just said? Wow. Gosh. I'm from the Midlands originally, and we have a word for this emotion in the Midlands, which is the word mardy. I don't know how many of you understand that word, but that is that one for me. Okay, this one. Comfortable or uncomfortable? What are we thinking? It kind of depends, doesn't it? Yeah, it's sort of a... any words for this one? Confused? Surprised? Could be a good surprise or a bad surprise, couldn't it? Okay, fantastic. Last one. I like this one. I think he looks very cute like this. You see his wonky eyes, definitely, and his wonky monobrow. Good, I agree that that's comfortable. Any words for that one? Happy? Yeah, and variations on a theme of happy. Fantastic, good finding. So, in the film, Forky, to begin with, hang on, is quite anxious and confused. He's in a completely new place. He's with new companions, but he is helped by his friends, and eventually he understands that he is loved by Bonnie, his kid. This changes absolutely everything for him. You ready? Ta-da! It's a children's toy, Jenny. And once he learns this, he's a much, much, much happier Forky. And we have some fantastic friends for him also over here. So what about you and me? What about us? How might Forky's story help us? Well, we all, if we're a little bit honest, if we're very honest, we have times when we feel a little bit wonky. When the road looks rough ahead, we all have times when we feel like that. Dare I say it, it's September tomorrow. And September is an exciting time of year, but it's also sometimes, hang on, a little bit, let's find an appropriate picture. Hold on, give me a second. Not that one, that's too angry. Maybe like that, possibly. It can be an anxious time as well. If we're at school, we might have new teachers, new classmates, new schools even, new courses that we're beginning, education people like me. I don't know if anyone's started having the back-to-school dreams yet. Mine usually involve me having no idea what I am doing, not remembering anyone's name, not remembering when playtime is, all of those things. Parents, grandparents, there's a gear change coming, isn't there? Yeah, for some of you it'll be a blessed relief. For others of you it'll be we've got to be up and dressed and out the house by school o'clock. Those of you not in anything to do with education, September somehow seems to be a month where there's a bit of a gear change quite often, isn't there? Certainly in church life that's true. But in the rest of life, often it's kind of go, go, go. It's September. Back to Forky for a second. What changed him? This might be the last time we do this. What changed him from this to this? So he learns that he is loved. He learns that he's got a friend. But the link here is that his friend is his kid, and his kid is also his creator. And that's why she loves him. In all his imperfections, she loves him because she made him. For all of us, you, me, all of these guys over here, the truth is that we are also loved in all of our imperfect wonkiness by God. God, the creator of the whole world, the creator of every single one of us, deeply loves every single one of us, possibly even more than Bonnie loves Forky. In the Bible, we are told many times that God loves us. One of my favourites is that he loves us so much he actually sings over us. It's pretty cool, isn't it? Yeah, even though we're a bit wonky quite often, he sings over us. Another verse tells us, and the children are colouring in this in bags that they can take their friends home with them afterwards. It actually says God is love. Doesn't just love us, he is love. Yeah, he's the source of love. It's central to who he is. We get to experience that and live in the good of it. And it changes us, just like it changed Forky. So, like all good talks, I've got 3 quick points to make. Number 1, it's okay, it's normal to feel, come on, let's do it, wonky, mixed up, worried sometimes. Number 2, we can tell God exactly how we feel, the good and the not so good. His love for us doesn't change, and he wants to hear from us. And thirdly, this is probably the most important one today, we don't go into any new situation alone. We don't go into September alone. We have the creator of the universe with us. Pretty amazing. We have a friend in God, in Jesus. And when the road looks rough ahead, and also when it looks pretty good, he says to us, you've got a friend in me. I'm going to hand over to Mark now for prayers. Perfect.
Good morning. I'm really jealous of babies. Babies are great, aren't they? Because they're here in the room with us right now, and they're present here right now, continuously learning and soaking up everything. And from cradle to grave, we're all learning. And as we think about the new academic year that's just beginning, we think about that community of learners, teachers, staff alike. And first of all, I just want to, from the kiddie that's just going to a school for the first time, to the learner that's changing schools and going into a new environment that they're scared about, to teachers and staff who've changed jobs going into new schools, having to deal with new processes, new colleagues. Can we just give all of that community, everyone in learning, teaching, learners alike, just a clap? Can we applaud them, please? Yeah. So, Lord, we thank you for this new term, just beginning, for the chance to learn, to grow, and bless the parents who watch with care, and the teachers and the staff that guide with patience. Help them to find joy in every moment, to delight in the little things, to encourage, to console, and that they would find strength for the tasks ahead. Take away the worries and fears of the future, Lord, and teach us to trust in your love today, to live fully in the here and now, to laugh, to wonder, and to rest in your peace. Lord, let this new year of learning bring hope, friendship, and the knowledge that you are always with us as that faithful friend. Amen.
Our reading today, need a bit of, oh, that's it. It's from John, chapter 15, verses 12 to 17. And this is what Jesus said. This is my commandment, that you love one another as I have loved you. No one has greater love than this, to lay down one's life for one's friends. You are my friends. If you do what I command, if you do what I command you, I do not call you servants any longer, because the servant does not know what the master is doing. But I have called you friends, because I have made known to you everything I have heard from the Father. You did not choose me, but I chose you. And I appointed you to go and bear fruit that will last, so the Father will give you whatever you ask of him in my name. I am giving you these commands so you may love one another.
And all the people said, Amen. I'll just wait for the slide to come up. Let's just go one slide before that, if we can. I'm a real fan of this Randy Newman song. You've got troubles, I've got them too. There isn't anything I wouldn't do for you. We stick together and we see it through, because you've got a friend in me. I really think these words capture the essence of friendship in exactly the same way that Jesus did on his last night on earth. In John 15, when he has the disciples surrounding him, and he says to them, you are my friends. And I think he says the same to us. You know, in the Old Testament, there are only two people who were called the friends of God. One was Abraham and one was Moses. But now Jesus says, you are my friends. I mean, he's talking, of course, about love, about greater love has no man, that he lay down his life for his friends, which is exactly what Jesus was going to do 24 hours later than he said it. And I think it's very interesting that when he looks for a picture of love, he doesn't use marriage, he doesn't use romantic love, he chooses friendship. And I think that's a neglected topic for churches. We don't talk enough about friendship and its importance. When my mum died, I was 11 years old, and I felt very scared and very alone and very not knowing quite what was going to happen next. I was comforted by the fact that I knew Jesus was my friend, And I remember the words of Psalm 23, which said, I will walk with you through the valley of the shadow of death. Later on, much older at 54, when I was made redundant from a job I'd been doing, a senior role, an international role, and didn't really know what the next step was going to be, how I would earn enough money to pay the mortgage or feed the family. Again, I was aware that Jesus was my friend, and he went through that with me and promised that he was no man's debtor, and so it proved to be. You know, young people, when you're bullied or you're frightened or you're scared at school and you think you don't have any friends, remember you have a friend in Jesus. And older people, when you suffer loss or worry, anxiety or illness, don't forget you have a friend in Jesus who will never leave you or forsake you. Some people say the greatest miracle about Jesus was that he was a man in his 30s and he had 12 good friends. Because I think it's true that many men, and perhaps many women too, couldn't number 12 good friends. And it's a worry, I think especially for men actually, because, you know, they get married, they start a family, they have demanding jobs, and they lose contact with their friends. And then if things go wrong, well, it can really get very dangerous. They can feel very isolated. Maybe true for ladies as well, although I think they're instinctively better at keeping in touch with their friends. There's an African proverb that says, if you want to go quickly, go alone. But if you want to go far, go together. And so I'm very blessed to have some great friends. Some are sitting here in this congregation. But one in particular is my good friend, Tony Cornfield. Now, we've been friends for 50 years. I shared a house with Tony when I was in my early 20s. And I have to say that we're very different people. Tony likes to get up late in the morning. In fact, Tony doesn't like getting up at all, really. And I'm always up early and, you know, up at 6 and 6:30, busy to do things. Tony is a great reader. He would happily spend an evening just reading a book. I mean, you'd never find me spending an evening reading a book. I have to be up and doing things. And finally, Tony is a really keen gardener. I mean, his garden, which he's created from nothing in his house, is fantastic. I loathe gardening. We have a gardener who does it all for us, thank you very much. I'm just happy if the plants die slowly. But the reason I'm talking about Tony is that I think if you're going to have a friend, you've got to be a friend. And so I wanted to tell you how our friendship works, very different people though we are, so that your friendships can work too. Well, firstly, we love to talk together. Whenever Tony and I meet up, we talk. We download what's been going on. We chat about what our views are. In particular, we talk about politics and current affairs. And because we are men of a certain age, you can be sure that we've got plenty of views about how the world could be run much better if they just followed our ideas. Quite right, I agree with that. At the start of our friendship, we talked a lot about God. Tony wasn't a Christian. We had long discussions late into the night about God things. And it was a touching moment in my life when he stepped forward at a Christian convention and gave his life to God. Not only that, incidentally, he became a church minister of a vineyard church here in Sevenoaks. We don't just talk either, we listen. We respect each other's views, we listen to what's happening, we're interested in each other. And if you're going to be a friend, you have to be intentional. You have to make time for your friends. Now, we're blokes, so we're not going to sit over a cup of coffee for 2 hours chatting about our feelings. We need to be doing things. So we share interests together. Everything I know about car mechanics, I learned from Tony. A lot of what he learned about photography came from me. And in fact, I got him interested in photography by giving him my old digital camera. So when we get together, we always do something. And inevitably, we take pictures together. We'll go round a garden, often in Cambridge, and just share time talking and sharing and taking pictures. Actually, we've taken a lot of pictures of gardens. I think it's time for him to come and see a few steam trains with me. And finally, we're just there for each other. In the same way that you heard Alan talk about his friend Robbie, I'm there for Tony and he's there for me. I'll never forget, it's 12:30 at night, I get a phone call. It's Tony. He said, Rick, I've just broken down on the M20. My car has run out of fuel. Could you go to a petrol station with a can and bring it to me? Of course I could. And then years later, when I lost my job, which was pretty upsetting, Tony was right there for me. When he was in hospital with a suspected heart attack, Bev and I were right there in the hospital. And later on, when he couldn't preach at his church, I stepped in to preach the sermon that he would have done, interestingly, on the subject of encouragement. So why am I telling you all this? Go and be a friend. You know, young people, you're about to start a new school year. There will be people who are lonely and frightened and new to your class, and most people will ignore them. You shouldn't. Be a friend to them. And older people, which is the rest of us, be more intentional in your friendships. Who are you getting out of touch with? Who do you need to reconnect with? Who needs just a special touch of friendship right now? You know, when you come to the end of your life, and I come to the end of mine, will you be able to say, I was a friend to many people? You've got a friend in me. Some other folks might be smarter than I am, bigger and stronger too. But none of them will ever love you the way that I do. That's what Jesus says to us. Let it be what we say to others. So we're going to finish now with our final song. It is an obvious choice for a service about friendship. What a friend we have in Jesus. So would you stand and join in this lovely song?